I still remember the weight of that $20 bill in my hand. Not the paper, the meaning. It was my wedding day. The band was playing, people were clapping, and my father, was drunk on champagne and pride. But not pride in me. He stood there, glass trembling, eyes glistening with something that looked like love, until he opened his mouth. He raised a toast, announcing before everyone that the company I built, the AI system that saved his dying firm, would now be under new management. My stepsister, Ivy, the college dropout who once asked me what Python was. The crowd laughed, thinking it was a joke. I didn't. I felt my stomach twist as I realized he wasn't drunk. He was serious. He smiled at me like a man patting his dog on the head. "You've done well, kid," he said, "but it's time someone with a bit more flair runs things." I asked him why. Quietly, calmly. He looked me dead in the eye, pulled a 20 from his wallet and pressed it into my palm. "This is your worth." I smiled, because in that moment I knew exactly what I was going to do. He didn't always hate me. When I was 12, he used to say I was the son who thought like fire and moved like glass. He meant I was dangerous, but useful. After Mom died, he remarried a woman who wore perfume like a threat. Ivy came with her. Pretty, clever, reckless. Dad adored her because she reminded him of himself, charming, impulsive, and incapable of holding anything sacred. I built my first prototype at 24, during the firm's worst year. Our clients were leaving, debts stacking, whispers of bankruptcy spreading. I wrote code like a confession, a self-learning algorithm to forecast financial risk, optimize trades, detect fraud. It worked, miraculously. Within 8 months, we turned the firm around. Within 2 years, we were valued at over $200 million. Dad called me his golden mind. I should have known, gold is only loved until it's melted down. The betrayal started small. Meetings without me. Emails I was accidentally left out of. Then I saw Ivy presenting my system at a conference under her name, Project Iris. My code, my models, my architecture. Dad stood beside her on stage, grinning. I didn't confront them, not yet. Instead, I started collecting, quietly. Server logs, transfer records, source code backups. Every line of ownership, every timestamp. They thought I was naive, that I'd keep building, keep trusting. They forgot I built the system that could track them better than they could hide. Revenge isn't rage, it's patience sharpened. I spent the next 3 months constructing what I called the mirror protocol, a hidden subroutine buried within Iris's architecture. If triggered, it would duplicate the firm's entire database, encrypted, time-stamped, and legally traceable, to a secure offshore server in my name. Then it would run a self-test loop that would look, from the outside, like a catastrophic system failure. The firm would panic, trading algorithms would freeze, forecasts would reverse, clients would vanish. And in the chaos, every piece of stolen data would quietly be exposed, all pointing back to who authorized the changes. I scheduled it for 1 week after the wedding. When I left the reception that night, I didn't look back. I took the $20 bill, folded it twice, and slipped it into my wallet. A reminder, not of my worth, but his blindness. The next morning, they arrived at the office. I imagine the scene often. The lights flickering, monitors flashing error codes, Ivy screaming across the glass walls. Dad barking orders, his tie loose, his empire bleeding out through the servers. By noon, every major client had pulled their contracts. By 2, the board demanded answers. By 6, the federal auditors were at their doors with a copy of the ownership logs. Mine. I wasn't there to see it. I was sitting in a quiet cafe in Zurich, sipping black coffee while my phone buzzed with headlines. AI startup implodes after data breach. Founder accused of corporate misconduct. His face was everywhere, not mine. He called once. I didn't answer. But I saved the voicemail, his voice cracking, asking me how I could do this. He said he'd lost everything. I replayed it a few times, not out of cruelty, out of closure. Then I deleted it. The following month, I launched a new firm. Same system, improved architecture, cleaner ethics. Investors flocked. Clients followed. I named it 21 Analytics. People think the name's about blackjack, a gamble, a win. But it's not. It's a reminder that $20 wasn't enough to buy my silence. It only paid for the lesson he never learned. He taught me once that power was about ownership. He was wrong. Power is about control. And I've never felt more in control than the morning I watched his empire collapse, the one I built, the one he stole. They say revenge doesn't satisfy. Maybe. For